Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Roman City Sancra Porta. So, what do we do today? We actually did, or well not really, yeah today I guess, I built an olive farm. The reason I did this, it was because it was a nice and quick idea that actually somebody commented saying about olives, and I was like, actually that could work, they're nice little trees, and I could just do like a little grove. I think that's probably the right word, olive grove, rather than olive farm, I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. And it just filled up this little area. Well, I said this little area. It is still quite a little area compared to the rest of it. Just on the north part, not the north, eastern part. North is that way. So it did it on the eastern part there, and it just filled it up just before the fort, which I want to do next episode. I really want to get onto that, really. So I think I'm ready. I'm ready for it. At least to give it a go, and I can always change it as we go along. So, of course, done a little bit of the path, made this a little bit more naturey. I think it still needs a couple, like a tree here. I think it probably also needs a tree here. So I think it needs little bits and bobs in it, but I think it's not too bad. Depends on how I want to have it looking up to the fort, if I want to have a clear view from here or not, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should there be like a clear line of sight? Because at the fort up here, you know, they should be able to see. Should they have a clear path, like no trees, except for this one? You know, no trees that are in the way, like right there, right in the middle of the screen. I don't know. What would they do? Tell me what you think anyway. Defensive-wise, should we have the trees cut down? Should I just put a stump here, like there was a tree there? That actually might be a good idea, because then that adds detail without it being too bad, and it looks like it's been cut. Anyway, enough talking. So I decided to do some olive trees. And like an olive grove. These type of olive trees, and I'll try and get a good example of one. There we go. Probably this one here. If you have a look at that one. I'm going to just close the screen. There we go, sort of flash. These are based off the older type of them, the Centenarian olive trees. So that's why I've got this colour, and also the type of bark on it. And they're really weird. Like, there's so many different types of olives. Like not olives, but trees and stuff for olives. It's weird. It's kind of a bit crazy. Let me just do that. There you go. So yeah, there's different types. So that's the old, like, kind of type I've gone for. Like the ones that I think look older, rather than the ones that are more modern, I guess, and more newer, that are for mass production, because there's now like modern machines that can just eat these up and just somehow separates the olives without destroying the rest of it, destroying the olives or crushing the olives or anything like that. So it's interesting. So these could be for eating, or they could be for olive oil, which was used a lot in Roman society. It's like a big thing. I mean, we've actually gone through quite a few things, you know, like wine, lavender, olives. So that's pretty big things if you got a Roman town to do something like that. Quite easy as well. I only did 2 variations of the trees, and I just copy and paste them, so that was quite easy. So I just did a copy and paste and rotated every so often. Because they're really small, it's really easy, but I've used these ones for the olives, so they're like bluish. I know, not exactly the best colour for them, but these ones, because they're so small on this, it kind of worked. And I found that the red ones, wherever the red ones are, if I got any bushes, they got like these ones, I just didn't think worked, and they didn't look like the right colour for the Centenarian olive tree, or whatever it was that I had a look at. So that's why I went with those, and then I used now this is quite interesting. I used the Mushroom Island even, Mushroom Island biome. If you actually use that colour, because it changes the blocks so much, and on other ones, like, for example, I think it's like jungle, it makes them purple. So let's have a look, just to prove my thinking. Okay, that's because I was looking at it. If we grab like this, it makes it these like purple or something, or that colour. What's the other ones that it's got? I'm sure it does something weird to some of them. It might even be the acacia ones. I've got a feeling it is the acacia ones that it does some weird stuff to. Yeah, so these all get like really weird, different colours with them. But the idea being, anyway, that none of these really worked. I wanted to do something different, and with the birch it actually turns into that colour, and it was the closest I could get. Still stands out quite a lot, and obviously with the surrounding terrain that I've had to do mesa biomes for some of these white stained clay and stuff like that to make it, you know, into this, I've had to be a little bit careful and switch out a couple times. I think I'm still going to have like gaps and bits where I haven't done it properly. I really need to go through these cliffs, but apart from that, yeah, really easy, really nice. I made another, like, not really a villa. I wouldn't call this a villa. It's a lot simpler. It's almost like a step down from that one to that one. So we've got like a really fancy one, kind of fancy, and then this one, which is like, they haven't got that much money because they haven't got too many olives. or their farming isn't as effective or whatever, so they haven't got the money. They don't make tons and tons of it. So there we go. Little path across here as well, across the stream. And then there's just a couple more here, and they would just come up to it and just pick them off. I think I need to put some more buckets and stuff around, probably for detail, like cauldrons and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, the other thing I could do, which I don't know why... See, this is the problem with me. I think I'm done, and then I'm not. A lot of people have this problem, I think, with Conquest, because it doesn't end. It never ends. Like, stuff like that, for example, to put the olives in, just like lapis ore, and just switch over to the barrel. That kind of stuff. Default, guys, you could always just use like something like lapis, and just shove a load of trapdoors around it. I mean, that's pretty much your barrels. You know, just simple, but... yeah, you got a barrel. I mean, you can't float them yet. You will be able to, though. See, I think I can put a couple of those cauldrons around and stuff. I might even just do it now, because it's done. Wicker basket? I want a wicker basket. There we go. Get that. Change that one there. Change that one there. I can have a couple of wicker baskets around, because I think they would use wicker for this. I mean, it just looks right, doesn't it? And I guess they got one there. Got one there. There you go. Is that alright? Yeah, that's fine. There you go. So I get stuff like that, and I maybe even have one of these in the corner or something. So, you know, I could do stuff like that, definitely. I'll go around and just finish that up, and just put a couple of those around, because that'd be quite good. Actually, I'll do it now, because I will forget, guys. I will completely and utterly forget. Let's put, like, one here, for example, and we'll put a wicker basket type thing up this path. I quite like this little path thing. It's not really a path, but, you know, I quite like it. Whatever it is. There you go. That's fine. All done. So, little collection point down here for water. Got these on pretty much all the farms so far, actually. I've been pretty good with that. So they can get some water out of here, out of the stream, which actually is pretty nice. Could do with, though, now that I'm looking at it, see, there's always something. A couple little bits and pieces, like some pondweed type stuff. It's just right down in deep or whatever. I think cut out a couple of those. That definitely doesn't need to be sand. So we'll put it in a little bit like that. So it's got some of that. I think I need to do more of that, and just I definitely need to change the bed. The actual river bed needs to just change. I need to just minor tweak it. I do think I'm going to do that in one go, and just to get it done. But anyway, the actual house itself. Yes, the house itself is a bit of a weird one. It doesn't have a peristyle garden, but it does have a garden in a way upstairs. So I've kind of like switched stuff around. I've tried to be a little bit different and a bit poorer with this one. They've got like some stuff outside. These are like the pots and stuff that they can put it up in, or they can put it in boxes, crates to crate off. This is just olives. They don't do the pressing here, so they don't actually make the olive oil here. That I'm going to do in a separate structure somewhere else. Could even do it on the seaside part on the road. So they bring all the olives there and just crush them up and make olive oil. I don't know. We'll see. Either that will do it in the town, so they bring all the fresh olives in, and there'll be either olives for eating or olives for the oil. Either way, what they'll do is they'll bring them into the same place, and then they get decided on what's needed. I don't know, maybe that makes more sense. Anyway, first thing is first. We have, if I grab this little torch, the storehouse. So I put the storehouse on the side of it, and just attach it on. The colours, by the way, I love these colours. I've just used the Mesa versions of like the red. Again, I really like that for Roman. I think it works perfectly. What it looks like is plaster that's been painted, but it's like started to crack, or it started to break, or it's just like the plaster itself is really thick and blobby rather than being quite smooth. So that really works. They've also got an outhouse, so they don't have an actual bathroom. But anyway, this is the storeroom. The storeroom has a lot of the pots and stuff in it. It's also got some other stuff like random net there, for example. That's not supposed to be that. What is that supposed to be? That's just supposed to be a bottle or something. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a bottle of olive oil. I know they don't have bottles, but we've got to, you know, think about this. So there we go. They got that. They also got that like harvesty thing. I think they got a little hammer up there. You know, it's just stuff. It's very dark in there though. A couple more stuff around here. Stuff around here. Stuff around here. Stuff around here. Those mushrooms are awesome. This is just one of the small mushrooms that you can then place around. With using the stick, and they don't ping off. They are just brilliant for everything. So I've used so many of those. The actual house itself, we could turn off the light. No, I'll keep the light on. It's cramped. It's really cramped. But over here we've got the staircase, of course. And I've also got the actual kitchen, a very, very small kitchen. Got the small, that's supposed to be a melon, but it doesn't look like a melon at all. We've got that inside here, nice little kitchen area. Even got some clothes there for some reason. Maybe they washed the clothes in here as well. So there we go, they got that. And in here they've got the actual eating room. As you can see, it's not as nice. They've got a bird though, like a pet bird. They put that in, but it's just not as nice. It's not nowhere near, and it's a bit darker, it's a bit danker, and yeah, not danker. Oh, Biggles gonna love that. Anyway, upstairs they have the bedroom. Just a little bit of what's it called? Curtains to go across. Just one single bed. That's it. They haven't got too much at all. And up here, this is where they have their like peristyle garden. So the idea with that curtain is that they could actually close off the bedroom without stopping people from going upstairs. That's the idea. Would it actually work? I don't know, but yeah. Oops. There you go. So this is the peristyle garden. So I've tried to make it still look really good, so they can like lie down. They've got a little chest of drawers there. They've got a lot of plants around and a couple of plants coming off there. I know that some people don't like those. I think Nick doesn't like these at all, from what I remember. But they kind of work, except for the floating parts of them. So yeah, they just kind of work. I think I might even do something like that. No, that looks horrible. So I'll leave that. So yeah, nice little garden up here, a couple of little plants and things. So yeah, I mean that's nice and simple. But there's the actual house itself. I quite like it. It's got quite a bit more overgrown. Also use the new trapdoors here on this window, but then I use the normal ones on the other one. So yeah, I don't know. I quite like the a mix of both of them. So it's not as rich and not as powerful. But they've still got like a nice little house that's not like more moderate, but they're not living in huts, for example. So it's like showing not another class, just another style, I guess. I will be doing tutorials on pretty much all of these pretty shortly, actually, probably next week, for those guys that are watching this in real time. If you're watching this in the future, hello future people. Yeah, but I think next episode anyway, we'll get onto the fort. It looks like that you guys, the majority of you guys, want it in one episode, so it will take a little bit longer to actually do the whole thing, and the walkthrough of it will be quite long, but yeah, I think it'll be quite good anyway. I might try and sort out the painting of all of this terrain first, and just get some like terrain sets or whatever, so that's all done in the background, and then if I do need to mask it, it doesn't matter. Around the back, a couple ideas actually. I know that I mentioned shipyard. My girlfriend also mentioned a military shipyard, so that's where they actually build the war trireme. So this is a military shipyard, rather than it being just where they build ships. This will just be pure military. Kind of makes sense. It's out of the way, and also we can make a little path that somehow goes around here or something, like a weird winding path that is just like a secret one that goes to there, or something. Or we could just do a general path that can make its way up here and make it go all the way around somehow. I don't know how it would go around. I don't know if it would jump across here, go into this person's land, but this is somebody else's land, so maybe not. But then again, I was saying about the troops being able to use this, so maybe it is going to be a joint thing. I don't know. That could make sense actually. It does make sense that it does a bridge across here. So we'll probably bridge across there, even though it's in the villa's land. It's just that the military pay these guys or whatever. Because these guys aren't rich enough, but yeah, we do something like that, and then that's where the troops can go up this way, it's there, and then they also go off. Because with the Roman soldiers, of course, they were actually expected to. Well, they weren't expected. They also, yeah, they kind of were expected. I think they were forced to actually go onto ships and stuff like that. And naval battles back in the day were not like actual naval battles. They were more land battles. Just you're on a ship at the same time. So they'd like go right next to each other and try and board them and kill them that way with swords, rather than anything else. I mean, they'd try and ram them as well, but yeah. So I think shipyard for this part, that makes a lot of sense. Other stuff that's been suggested, which is awesome, okay? And I think this needs special mention, really, because it is something that I forgot about, which I've wanted to do for ages. A quarry. Quarry, I think we can possibly fit in here, like really cut in the land a little bit more and make it just quarried out so that they've got some sort of stone. It's stuff that you don't really see in Minecraft too often, and like all this stuff really, you know, like a wine, what's it called, wine field? No. My God, can I not even think at the minute? Winery thing, the thing where you make wine. Vineyard. There we go. Vineyard. Olive grove you don't get. Lavender fields you don't really get. The ports and stuff you do. So I'm really up for that. So I think quarry, awesome idea. So thank you for commenting that one. I think I'll put it in here. I'm going to try to. I know it's going to be quite close to that, but it kind of fills it out. And it needs to be on this stone. These are the biggest stones on the island. The biggest rock mountain type hill type things. It's either that or we fit it around the side, but I just don't think there's enough space for it. You know, like over here. That's going to be where the aqueducts comes from. So that's why I put the yellow line in there to remind myself. So I just don't think it would work otherwise. I mean, we could cut it in here, but I want to have a path going up that way to try and get over to here. So I think that's got to be the quarry, like somewhere around here. I don't think there's really any spaces around the back now. There isn't. It really isn't at all. So yeah, I think quarry's got to be there or here. Tell me what you think. Site A, which will be over that one, or Site B, which is over that one. If you want to comment that, if you're interested in the quarry type thing and you want to be in a position. The other thing that somebody actually said, I think this was quite recently, just before I actually read it, I think it came up. Just before I read it, just before I made this video, it actually came up, was a ludus. Didn't actually use the word ludus, but basically a gladiator training camp. Now, I've watched the TV series Spartacus, so that's kind of like quite cool. I think it's really cool. Yeah, I thought that was just awesome. And then somebody also said about making like a hermit house in the hills. Now, what I'm thinking for the ludus, and see what you guys think. I don't think I'm going to build it on here, but I'm like hermit house totally. I think we'll build a hermit house probably up here or here, like somewhere like ridiculously high. There'll be some trees on this thing, but I think up here we'll have like a hermit, like some sort of. I don't know if they had. Well, they did have priests, didn't they? Kind of similar to the, if you've seen 300 when he climbs up that stupid rock. I think they did have some priests that are just really far out, like an oracle type thing. But I'll do some research on that before I even start doing that stuff, you know. But I think we can have it like up here on this plateau somehow. You know, some sort of temple with just one guy living there or a couple people living up there. Because there is going to be a path going up there to a watchtower here. So that might as well continue up through here to get up to there. But there will be some trees on there. The ludus and the gladiator training camp, I was thinking of having it on this cliff. I kind of, from watching Spartacus and it being on a cliff, I think it's got to be on a cliff. So that's what I'm going to go with. I think probably around here, something like this area here. If we flatten out, obviously, this dip here we can get rid of. Either that, or we have the main house up here. So the main house overlooks this entire place here. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. When it's got the proper trees in it as well, it'll look really good. So whether we put the ludus up there, and then we have like we do have it drop down, so they've got like a naturally is in the basement, just like in Spartacus. That could be a good idea. But I think this area here, and we have like a weird path, and then that'll go down the main road or something that will join up and go through these hills, so that when they go off to the arena, which will be over here, it'll be awesome. So there we go. That's some future planning and stuff from your comments as well. So hopefully that makes sense. Those people that have commented those things, or just people that want to be interested, tell me if my ideas about, you know, where things are planning on going in my head. Tell me if that's a good idea, or if you think there's a better place or something like that. But I do think the ludus could go there really nicely, or there, or you know, there's quite a few places actually we could actually build some stuff. I mean, I could even have like a couple. No, you don't want to have a couple. You wouldn't have two next to each other. That's true. So we'll have like the gladiator training camp somewhere up there, and then we'll have probably something else on here. Or, I don't know. We'll see. Also, people have been asking about temples like the Pantheon and the Colosseum, obviously. Now, that will be in the main island part of it. So the main island, of course, over here. There will be some walls. There will be actual walls around the city. So the city is going to be on this kind of like place here. It's difficult to show you guys because it doesn't load up so good. I've got it on a private server at the minute because the normal server's been crashing a little bit too often. So I've taken it off to save some RAM. So yeah, we've got this entire island around here, this entire part here, and you can see the trees where I don't like them. They look a little bit too African-y, even though there are occasions in like Italy and stuff like that. But I think the Pantheon type thing, the big temple, don't know if I'll do it like the Pantheon, or just like a general temple, will be on this hill. And then there's a couple paths, you can see that like natural paths that would go up this hill. So I think we're going to have that there. We're also going to have another one. It's either that or this is where the Colosseum will go on this hill. Like, so it's completely round. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is going to be the Temple Hill. And then I think we're going to have the Colosseum probably not on a hill itself, probably on the hill, but not on a cliff. That's better. Not on a cliff, so probably around here we'll have the Colosseum so that it could be like proper sized. And then we'll have all the more expensive houses and stuff around on top of this cliff. That's the idea. That's why I built the cliff. So the cliff is going to be like the ridge. So the ridge is on the highland, because of course with Rome itself there are quite a lot of hills, and the hills are quite important. So I have like the Forum and stuff up there. So that's where all the rich kind of, all the money's going to be, the Senate house and all that kind of stuff. Then down here we'll have all of the like insulae, which are the pleb houses, the proper head pleb houses. 2 pleb houses that I've made already are the more like if a pleb was out in the like countryside, which a lot of them would have been. Whereas the insulae, they're basically apartments. They're not really medieval. They're Roman apartments, ancient world apartments. Not great to live in, but yeah. We'll go on to that at some point. So that'll be like in this land here, and I'll go all up into the rich. That's the idea. That's my plan. Again, guys, do just comment and tell me. With this series, I want to be really like interactive, a lot more than when it was just a let's build, where it's gone to the Timelapse tour. It's really, you know, I'll take in every bit of feedback because it's going at more of a real time pace. No, not really. You know, when I read comments, then I'll do the episode after that, like that type of thing, or in the case of this one, I just built an olive farm and then I read comments afterwards, and that's why we're talking now. That's enough discussion though, guys. I think I will be starting on the fort. That's the idea anyway. That is what's going to happen. So it might be a little bit of a delayed episode, but there will be tutorials from this series anyway coming out in between then. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys want to see next, or what you want to see in general in this series, and tell me what to improve and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.